right, who is ready to decorate for the holidays? On our YouTube Live, there was a request for a hidden doll room that looks like a book. On average, our hidden doll rooms are about 7 inches wide, so that would be a really thick book. But we have made binder rooms, or what looks like a binder, and they're a lot thinner, so this might be a good candidate for a room that looks like a book. However, this room doesn't have a floor, and we can't store a lot of furniture in it, but it does make a great backdrop when you need something fast. So we are going to recycle this backdrop, which is very difficult to store, into a hidden doll room that we hope looks like a book. Oh my goodness, I just had the best idea. Okay, let's see if it works. I take my recycled foam board and I start removing all of the things that need to be removed. If you don't have foam board or don't want to use foam board, you can always use cardboard instead. This is totally destroying my nail polish that I just painted, but what are you gonna do? This was the front of my foam board and here is the back. So I got the back a lot cleaner. So we're gonna use that for the inside of our room. This foam board measures 20 by 30. On the 30-inch side, I draw a line 13 inches from the edge, cut on the line drawn, giving me a 13 by 30-inch piece and a 7 by 30-inch piece. Take the 13-inch piece, I trim it down to 22 inches long. I measure over 10 inches from the sides, score a line, then repeat on the other side, making a little binder room that is 13 inches tall with 10-inch walls and 2 inches in the back. But I would like my scene to be a little larger. So I use leftover foam board to cut 6-inch wide walls, line them up on the edge, leaving a little bit of space between them, apply glue, then a strip of plain white paper, connecting the wall while still giving us some flexibility to turn it whatever direction we want. Repeat on the other side to extend our play area. Lay it with the inside facing down. I take wrapping paper and cover the outside, gluing the paper into that seam so we don't lose the flexibility in our wall, and I wrap it over the edge. I chose to leave the center blank because I want to use a different color on the spine. I take a paper lunch bag and carefully open it up, cut a large strip, glue it over the spine, going into those scored edges so everything will look nice and clean. Take the excess over the edge to get that classic book look. We can decorate the spine with a little gold tape or even foil paper. We can also add sticker letters onto the side to label the room. Now that we've decorated the outside, let's decorate the inside. We can cover it with scrapbook paper or plain white paper. I'm gonna go with white paper with some lines. Sometimes my scrapbook paper is a little thick and it can stop my walls from folding easily. So I'm going with the computer paper because it's a little thinner. However, since it's white, thin paper, sometimes you can see through it. If that might be a drawback for you, just be careful about what color paper you use when covering the outside of this hidden doll room binder book. Yeah, whatever this is. And another thing, these lines here will totally tell on you if you did not have your wall straight or put your paper on straight, because they all kind of just go down at an angle. But hopefully when we start adding a few details, it won't be that noticeable. I have a little bit of that foam board left over. I draw a 4 by 12 inch rectangle. Let's cut it out. Cover it with scrapbook paper. I have some thin cardboard. Let's cut some 3/4 inch strips. Cut them to fit the door. Cover with paper. Glue them on top to make a door. Glue it onto one of the walls. I cut strips of foam board and glue them around the edges to add a door to our room. But it is important to make sure it can still close. So yeah, it closes but we really can't add much else popping out from the walls unless we're adding something onto the spine. But we can add flat objects like printables onto the walls. This is a printable from our log cabin that we made a long time ago. I want to use it on this wall, but the woods don't match. But that's an easy fix because we can just glue the scrapbook paper right on top over the existing lines. So let's cut it out, glue the strips of paper on top, then glue it onto a wall. Not bad. This is giving us a very basic room that could be used as a great backdrop for our dolls. Let's add another door to this wall, but I think we can make it a little thinner by gluing the paper directly onto the wall. Duh! Glue the covered cardboard on top, add the strips of foam board to make an easier door. I went ahead and switched out the other side, so yeah, we just saved a little bit of foam board. Glue on a bead for a doorknob, and for me, I find that it works best to glue it onto the outermost edge, so the room is still easy to close. Lay down scrapbook paper for a floor, and we have a hidden doll room in a book. Now let's make some stuff we can decorate this space with. Let's add a fireplace. I cut a 6 by 13 inch rectangle. I cut a rectangle from the bottom, glue scrapbook paper onto the front, bend it around the edges, and glue it in the back. I cut another piece that is 6 by 5 inches. I glue black paper to the front. I cut 2 1 by 13 inch strips. I cover the lower half with black paper, glue the strips onto the sides so the black is facing inward. I cut out one of our fireplace printables, glue it to the black paper, then glue it in the back to give the illusion of a fire. Cut 2 1-inch strips that can go all the way across, glue them together to make a right angle, fill in the sides with more foam board, cover it with the brick paper, glue it onto the front. This added some stability and allows it to stand with no problem. I cut more pieces of foam board to add a frame going around it. Let's add another piece right here across the top, then some 1/4-inch strips. Just layering the foam board because all that layering is adding detail and dimension. I cut the leftover pieces into tiny squares, then glue them on. I add a 3/4-inch piece on top and then a 1/2-inch piece to make a fireplace with a mantle. This is freestanding, so we can place it wherever we want. And I left the bottom open so we can add a flameless tea candle to give our fireplace a little glow. We can go a step further by removing the little flame cover, glue black paper on top, add a little glitter mixed with glue to the printed flames. I think this is a situation where less is more, and I kind of like an orange more than a gold just around the bottom. Place the tea lights underneath, making sure we have access to the switch, creating a fireplace with a little glow. And hopefully the glitter catches some of that light and creates a little sparkle. All right, room check, fireplace check. Let's make a couch. I'm using a kitchen towel from Target to bring a little color into this space. And let's recycle an Amazon box to build our couch. I start by cutting a rectangle so we can see how large we would like the couch to be. We're going to use this for the base and then just build everything on top. Begin cutting rectangles to glue together to make small boxes. I make 2 for the arms, make another one for the back, and I made a slightly taller one for the cushion that will be on the bottom. Normally, I would like to break it up and make separate cushions. However, I'm limited on fabric, so we need to go for something a little more simple. This dish towel is 18 by 28 inches, and I'm starting to have second thoughts. This is a lot of pattern for me. We could go for a more neutral color and then just use the other one as like throw pillows. Which one? I don't know why picking out fabric is so difficult. Let's just do it and be wild for the holidays. We have 5 pieces that need to be covered, so let's get started. I add a few layers of felt to the seat. I did 3 layers just to soften that edge a little. Remove the hem on the towel so we can get a little more fabric. Then cover the box with the fabric, folding it like a present on the sides. The arms of the sofa should cover the sides, so we only need to worry about the parts that will be visible. At the same time, I want to make sure the ends are glued securely as well as the bottom edges, because those are going to be the contact areas for the other parts of the sofa. Take the back and we're going to glue it on to the front and the back. I glued down the part I know is going to be attached to the cushion so it's nice and secure. Wrap the ends like a present, then close it on the bottom. Whoa, that's a lot of pattern. It's okay, let's just keep going. For the arms, I'm gonna glue this down near the bottom, but leave enough that we'll be able to glue underneath. I cut the corners at an angle, but I stop a little bit before I reach the cardboard. Fold them over the box, glue down on this side and onto the top, making sure to cover that top edge. Take the fabric and fold over the sides, making sure it is the same width as the box. We can iron those creases in place. I'm gonna add a little glue from a glue stick, then press the fabric flat to secure those edges without adding any bulky lines from hot glue. Fold in and glue down the bottom. Then let's take this portion and we're gonna just wrap it over it and glue it underneath, making sure that corner is tucked in so we don't see any raw edges. And I'm just gonna glue that down. I glued along the bottom edge and I'm deciding to leave this last little bit hanging loose. Repeat to make 2. Cover the base. I made sure the corners underneath the fabric were secured with glue in case we want to add feet. Begin gluing the pieces onto the base. Then take the tail end of the arms and we're going to glue that underneath to make our couch, which is kind of short. So I'm going to recycle the glue stick caps from my used glue sticks. I cover them with wood grain paper. I filled them with hot glue for a little weight. And I just used cut pieces of a glue stick to reduce drying time. Then glue them underneath to raise our sofa a little. And the feet just kind of blend in, so yeah, I like that. Let's add some pillows, and I want to bring out that pink color a little. So let's add these from our 7 gift ideas for under $5 video. I think that red is just throwing it. And it is a little loud for me. So let's just paint them. I'm using a little nail polish on a Q-tip to change the color of the fabric, going from this to this, toning down that color a little, allowing our pillows to match. And we can bring in the ottoman as well. Let's move the couch so it's kind of facing the fireplace and make a tree to go in this space. On YouTube Live, we made a Charlie Brown inspired tree. I kind of like the idea of a little sparse tree. However, I want something a little taller. I take a twig from the yard and glue on a few more branches, glue greenery onto the ends. That looks about right. Cut the ends off of popsicle sticks, cross them and glue them together. Glue cut pieces onto one of the ends so that they are now the same height. So when we flip it over, it's level. Glue the tree to the popsicle sticks to make our own little tree. It's like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, but upgraded. Now we need some lights and bulbs. Lights are easy. I found some LED lights with green wire at Walmart. Let's wrap the lights around the tree. Since our tree is a little thin, some of the wire was visible, so I added a little bit more greenery. But for the most part, it's done. And I hid the battery pack under the couch. However, we could also hide it behind the fireplace as well. Yeah, let's just tape it behind the fireplace. That way we can have the option of moving the couch around. Next, we need bulbs. I want bulbs to bring out more of this pink, however, I couldn't find them anywhere. So I picked up these berries from Target. They are little stems with 3 little berries, and each one is on a wire. They feel like they're made of foam and they're very lightweight. So let's use nail polish, the same one we used on the couch, to paint the little berries, allowing us to make bulbs in any color we want. After 2 coats and waiting for them to dry, remove them from the stem, bend the wire to make a hook, trim off the excess, and hang them onto the tree for ornaments. We can use glitter polish to change them up a little and add some sparkle. I added a second coat of glitter paint onto those bulbs, and we're gonna just let that dry. And let's open up this room a little and push that wall back so we have more space. Let's add a quick rug to define this space. I take a piece of felt, cut it to the size you want, then glue a faux fur or fuzzy fabric on top. And mine's a little short, so I'm just gonna have to glue 2 pieces together. But since this is fuzzy, I don't think it'll be that obvious. I glue them on using hot glue, trim off the excess, and use it to fill in the gaps. There we go, much better. Now let's make some decorations for the mantle. I've been using these mini wreaths from Target that we showed in our Target Fun Find video. I used them for the greenery on our tree, and I still have some left over. I cut another piece of foam board that is slightly larger than our current mantle to make a false mantle where we can glue everything on top and then remove it after the holidays. Out of leftover felt, I cut out 2 stocking shapes, glue on a fabric that matches the room, make little cuts around the curves, then fold them over and glue down. Glue ribbon around the top, add string to the back, and I added a little pom-pom to make little stockings. Glue them onto the edge of the foam board, glue on the greenery, going all the way across, cut a glue stick, run glue down a piece of black thread. While that's drying, let's melt the top of the glue stick. Once the string has hardened, glue it inside of the glue stick to make miniature candles. Let's spruce them up with a little nail polish on the outside, glue them onto the mantle for faux decorative candles. Take toothpicks and glue them together at the point. I start with 2, then I add a few more to make a little triangle shape. I paint it with polish to match, then I added glitter. I might have gone overboard. Handle glitter responsibly. Let's glue them onto the corners of the mantle. I add a few of our painted bulbs, then set it on top of the fireplace for a holiday look that is removable. I'm just using a couple of pearl pins, pushing them right through the foam to hold it in place. I took some of those leftover lights we hid behind the fireplace, and I'm just gonna add them to the mantle. All right, looking good. I take one of the mini wreaths from Target. I'm gonna take those little pine pieces and we're gonna just glue them onto the frame so they're just a little tighter and not sticking out quite so much. And if you don't want to glue them, you can also just wrap them with thread. Glue on a few bulbs. I found some smaller little pearl berries to add on and fill in some of the gaps. I could hang this above the mantle or above the doors. Actually, no, it's a little wide for the door. But I'm gonna hang it above the window to just spread a little more cheer around the room. And let's put our TV from YouTube Live with the changeable screens above the fireplace so the dolls can watch their favorite holiday movies. Place the DVDs in the remote control on the ottoman so they're close by when the dolls are chilling on the couch. Last but not least, we need some place to store our little holiday cards. So let's take 3 jumbo craft sticks, cut the ends off of 2, make them the same length, then cut a shorter one. Glue the longer ones onto the shorter one, making a triangle. Take embroidery floss or a thick thread, and we're going to just glue it going zigzag across the back. I use a little poster putty on the back of my Dolly Friends cards to make a holiday card display. The MyFroggyStuff 2021 holiday card is available on our blog, myfroggystuff.blogspot.com, to download for free. There's a link in the description box below. Let's add a cut piece of fabric to the couch. Let's put it on the other side, so the dolls have a throw to cuddle up and get cozy while watching their favorite holiday movies. Thank you for joining us while we made a hidden doll room in a book-like structure. However, all of the furniture will have to be stored in our attic when not in use. But it sure was a lot of fun making these holiday crafts. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Instagram at MyFroggyStuff and the Frog Vlog. And we will see you next time. Happy crafting! Bye! Ooh, and happy holidays!